plan for the next fiscal year.
That's right, and critics are already calling it a re-election year budget for Snyder. Dave Llewellyn is here with more on what the governor is proposing today. Dave?
Governor Snyder says Michigan's comeback and $1 billion budget surplus put the state in a position to invest in priorities, including education, public health, as well as tax relief.
This is about fueling Michigan's future in a very positive, constructive way.
Governor Snyder is calling for $80.3 million additional dollars, or 6.1%, for universities. It's the biggest increase for higher education in his time in office. The state's 28 community colleges will see a 3% hike in funding, which is an additional $8.9 million. During Snyder's re-election announcement this week, we learned K-12 funding would see an increase of $322 million. Most of that will go toward increased school retirement costs. Other budget highlights: money for Detroit. The state is setting aside $17.5 million a year in tobacco settlement reserves for issues relating to the city's bankruptcy. Tax relief: $103 million for low and middle income families through the homestead property tax credit. Expanded Medicaid coverage, nearly $72 million. Roads and bridges, $254 million to match federal aid for infrastructure projects. And state police, nearly $18 million to train 100 additional troopers and 31 motor carrier officers. Responding to the governor's budget proposal, a statement from Mark Schauer, his likely Democratic opponent, said in part, Governor Snyder's election year budget is filled with more fuzzy math and accounting gimmicks and continues the same failed policies that created the fourth worst unemployment rate in the nation. If elected, Schauer says he would make education, quote, our #1 priority. In his budget, the governor also proposes to add $120 million to the state's rainy day fund, which would raise that balance to $700 million. A lot of numbers here, certainly, and the legislature may well haggle over them before any budget is approved. The fiscal year starts October 1st. Jeff?